let's get ready to produce some images that are ready for video. And we're going to use Glenn here as an example of how to do that. And the first thing that he's done is gone out and created a folder for video images. And this is where he's going to store these video images that have been resized for video. So the first thing we need to do is to take a look at landscape images and bring those into Photoshop. Now this image here is way too big for video, so what we need to do is resize it and then rename it so that we maintain our original large scale image, because later on we're going to have use for these big images. So first step to do is click image and select image size, and you can see this image is pretty large. The size we want to use is going to be a width of 720 by 480, as you saw in that video of producing video backgrounds. So step number one here, we'll need to take off constrained proportions. This will allow us to change both the width and the height independently. So we take that off and click the width of 720, change the height to 480, and you're going to see this image shrink by quite a bit. And then the important thing here is to make sure you rename it. File, Save As, and then go to your video folder, video images, and then give it a descriptive name to make sure that you know what it is. So he's got Soccer Night, I might add Soccer Night, get that in there, 2015. And then you might want to put that you resized it. And so what I like to do sometimes is just put the size that you resized it, maybe some reference like 720. That'll tell us it's a landscape image. Click Save, click OK, and that's done. So that's for landscape images. For portraits, let's take a look at that. I'm going to close that and bring in one of Glenn's portraits here. Let's see, let's look at some icons. I'll make it easier. Oh yeah, here's a nice picture of Abel with some blur, so I'll drag that over to Photoshop. Now this is a portrait image. It's way too tall for our video, but we do want to maintain this particular image, so we're going to resize it, resave it under a different name. Once again, image, image size. Now this time we want to make sure that we do select constrained proportions, because we're just going to adjust the height. Constrained proportions, change that height to 530, and you will see that the width automatically adjusts to maintain proper proportions. Now take a look what happens here. Let me bring that back up. If we do not click constrained proportions, let's say we leave that off, and I come in here and change that to 530, Abel wouldn't appreciate that too much. That's a little weird, so we don't want to do that. So we come in, image, image size, select constrained proportions, adjust our height to fit our computer screen, click OK, File, Save As, video folder, Abel blur, that's probably good enough, and then we'll put, since it's been resized, I'm going to put a 530 after that so I know the size that that needs to be. Click Save, and then we're ready to go. So that's what we need to do to our images to get them ready for video. You could also apply what we learned in that other video on preparing backgrounds, in that you could just get a default film video. Now if you have some that you've already produced backgrounds that you want to use, then you just open those up. But if you just want to create a new one, you'd open that up like so, and then float these two. So there's our 720 by 480. Here's our resized video image. And we could do some background work if we wanted to, or just simply use that as a canvas to start layering some of our new pictures. And you'll see when we drop that over that it does fit into the right size. And then we would go ahead and save this Photoshop image and put that into video if we wanted to use that in our project. I'll just save that as untitled for now. Click OK, and there we go. And now we have an image that is ready for video production in Adobe Premiere Pro.